Hi, my name is Maureen Schneider, and I'm going to talk about how human population growth affects animals and their habitats. Human population is growing at an incredibly fast rate right now, and in order to account for this growth, we have to make room for more agriculture. A solution to finding land that is is available for more farming, we must cut down forests, which is called deforestation. Deforestation is not a good idea because it leads to adverse effects on animals. According to the Population Reference Bureau, it also is not a very sustainable solution either. The World Wildlife Fund also says that deforestation means that many animals will lose their habitats. This is also bad news because loss of habitat means loss of species. In this image from a website called Inhabitat, there's evidence that countries with large and growing populations are also those that have the majority of threatened animals. In countries like Brazil, India, and China, you can see that they have large populations and also large amounts of animals that are threatened. This is because they have populations that are growing and growing and growing and just haven't reached a plateau yet, and that means that they have to make room for food sources, which means farming. In countries like the USA, Canada, and countries in Africa, there are more concentrated areas of population, meaning that animals aren't really as threatened because they aren't really being subject to large mass amounts of deforestation. In fact, according to National Geographic's Deforestation Facts, 70% of Earth's land animals live in forests, which means that they might not be safe from this progression of population growth. Now, because we are so dependent on land for agriculture, we have to be aware of what is happening on the flip side of that. According to a website called The Lonely Planet, there is a statement that says, while more commonly recognized animals like whales, tigers, polar bears, like animals like that, are more popularly known to be threatened, animals like small lizards, smaller mammals like that live in the rainforest and that people aren't really aware of, are not being as widespread when it comes to education. It might be beneficial to look into this statement because who knows what species may go extinct tomorrow, and who knows what could lie on the horizon for our future generations if the population never stops growing. There may be generations that don't know what a tiger looks like in real life, or don't know that animals live outside of the zoo, which is where we're headed right now. And there are places that have preserves and conservation areas where these animals can live and not be threatened by anything. But that means that what isn't preserved is free to be chopped down and made into a housing development or a farm or something like a shopping mall or something ridiculous like that. So it's really important to think that it's good that our population is growing, but it's not good because there isn't as much room for animals that were here long before we ever were for them to live on. So, I don't know, it just seems to me that population and animal population don't go hand in hand when it comes to this deforestation. It is very important for us to think about this as we grow and progress, and it just makes a lot of sense to take animals into account before we take our own population growth into account. So that is my speech. Thank you for listening. Here is my card.